I was born into a Catholic family, and I can remember at a very young age praying with my family together and having that initial seed of the faith from my youth. But as I got older, I started to drift away from the Catholic faith. This happened somewhere around middle school. I had many questions about the faith, many things that I wasn't quite sure about. And I wasn't quite sure where to find the answers either. I had tried asking other people, and while they could reiterate what the church taught, my questions of why and how didn't seem to be answered. And so I was a little frustrated and confused by that. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's a common experience for many of our youth these days. I did also find it rather easy to move forward with math and science. One of the reasons behind that was because generally everybody seemed to agree as to what the rules of math were. Everybody seemed to agree as to the results of what the observations and experiments in science seemed to indicate. But not everybody seemed to agree when it came to matters of faith. And so that seemed to be a problem. And faith kind of seemed to me at that time more of an issue of opinion rather than something about truth. Whereas it seemed as though maybe truth could be found in math and science. And so for me at that young age, in middle school, there seemed to be a divide between the two. The two didn't necessarily seem to coincide. They didn't seem to really agree as far as I understood them at that time. And so they were kind of separated for me at that young age. And so the question becomes, is there really a conflict between the two? Is there a discrepancy between the two? Can faith and reason get along, or must they be at odds? In the Catholic Church, we have a great gift in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, which is kind of a summary of our faith. And so when we have questions about the faith, that's one of the first places that we ought to look. And within the Catechism itself, on number 159, it talks a bit about this subject matter, the relationship between faith and science. And it says that there can't really be a discrepancy. And the reason behind that is because what we know by faith is being revealed to us by God. And what we know by science comes from observation and experimentation of the world around us. But where does that world come from? That too comes from God. And so God is not going to contradict himself. He's not going to tell us one thing by faith and then have us discover something different by science. So the two really cannot contradict themselves or each other because they come from the same God.